I planned on doing this video before I saw the True Puka's video, but I'm going to post this as a video response to True Puka's video so that a lot more people see it, and if anybody wants to criticize me, they can. And also, I think I have a little bit of a different take on what happened with Dan Savage and all of this stuff, because I'm going to be reading an article, and I'm going to be responding to the article and specific criticisms, whereas Puka was doing a more general thing. So, let's get on with it. This article is by the Concerned Women for America, and if you've been subscribed to me for a while, you know how much I fucking hate the CWA. And you might know from a recent video I did to the CWA how much I hate Mario fucking Diaz. The article is called Anti-Christian Bullying, not part of Anti-Bullying Efforts, by Mario Diaz Esquire. The problem of bullying in schools is real. No fucking shit, asswipe. I was a victim of bullying, and the school didn't really do jack shit for me. I had to take matters in my own fucking hands. And we must swiftly deal with it. Bullying for any reason is reprehensible, unless you're a Bible-believing Christian, in which case Mario Diaz would probably fight for your right to attack the gays. And lawmakers should take aggressive steps to empower schools at the local level to be able to take strong actions against bullies and protect all students from violence. And sometimes actually protect the bullies from violence. And protect bullies from any kind of repercussions. But there are those who want to exploit the issue of bullying to promote their personal interests. He's not exploiting it, and he's not promoting his own personal interests. Dan Savage wants to stop all bullying. It Gets Better, the It's a Gets Better campaign was made for everybody who is getting bullied. But even if it was leaned towards gay students, that's because Dan Savage grew up dealing with that kind of bullying. And you would think that that would maybe tinge his perception of things. But that's not a bad thing, because gay kids do get bullied quite a lot for being out of the ordinary, being different. And that's not a good fucking thing. Enter Dan Savage, a homosexual activist who claims to be working to combat bullying by promoting lesbian, gay, I don't know why it's in quotation marks, but gay, bisexual, and transgender rights, and it's in quotation marks. His 2010 It Gets Better campaign has been highly praised. As well it should, because it, I'm sure, helped a lot of kids who were on the edge of doing something drastic because of bullying to get them off the ledge and make it easier for them to deal with the bullying. And it told them to go see a shrink or go see a counselor, go to someone else and try and deal with the bullying through other means than killing themselves or hurting themselves, which is a good thing. Support for Savage has come from many sources, including this guy, as I should say. Hollywood, of course, has been key. The highly acclaimed Pixar Animation Studios produced a short film for it. His Savage You show, giving sex advice, in quotation marks, to kids is heavily promoted on MTV. So fucking what? The only thing I have a problem with that is it's on a channel that's called MTV, which stands for Music Television, and there's no more real music on that channel anymore. Sports figures and teams have support him. The San Francisco Giants, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Philadelphia Phillies baseball teams, for example. Internet giant Google was perhaps the biggest sponsor with its Google Chrome browser. And even policymakers. Senator Al Franken, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Vice President Joe Biden, and, oh my god, even President Obama recorded messages in support of his anti-bullying effort, saying, it gets better. And that's such a bad fucking thing. To have people like the president tell people who are getting bullied, it gets better. That's a bad fucking thing. That's terrible. That is just terrible. But apparently it gets better only for LGBT youth. As far as Savage is concerned, it most certainly should not get better for Bible-believing Christians, insofar as they should not be trying to push their religion into law, and they shouldn't be trying to justify their bigotry with religion. As long as they don't do those two things, I'm pretty sure Dan Savage doesn't give a flying fuck about Christians at all. But when it's people who are using the Bible to justify their bullying of people who aren't quote-unquote mainstream or normal, or they're out of the ordinary, or all that stuff, I'm pretty sure that's when he starts to give a whole hell of a lot more, because just because they're different doesn't mean they should be getting harassed. He's actually leading the way in the bullying of Christians. No, he fucking isn't. As evidenced once again by his recent speech at the National High School Journalism Conference. In a very telling display of classic bullying, Savage attacked Christians, or as Savage called them, Bible guys, in quotation marks, calling them pansy-assed, because they are. He wasn't bullying them. He was making a point about when people try and use religion to justify their bullying and their bigotry against people who aren't part of their own fucking little shitty worldview. There's all these different things in the Bible that used to be sins, like eating shellfish used to be an abomination. Eating meat on Friday used to be a fucking sacrilege. Doing all this other shit used to be a big fucking thing, and now they're gone. But Christians have to hold on to this. Well, evangelical Christians have to hold on to this one teensy little piece of their faith that says that gays are wrong and they don't deserve rights and they're unnatural and blah 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 blah. And when faced with those criticisms, they fucking walked out of the room because they didn't want to be exposed to criticisms that might shatter their faith. And like what Puka said in his video, one of the teachers said that they were doing what they've been told to do when a bully, when they see bullying, and that's to walk away. What the fuck is that kind of shit? Walking away is what you teach your kids to do when you see someone getting bullied? You should walk over, say stop bullying that person, take the person who's being bullied and whisk them away and go talk to them and try to be their fucking friends, not leave them to get bullied. What the fuck kind of shit is that? That is bad. Just to me, that seems like a fucked up thing. Unless they're walking off to get someone to help the people who are getting bullied, like a teacher or an authority figure. Then okay, I can see that. But the immediate thing they should do is take the person and fuck them away. Like, just take them away from, like, fuck off with them. And just go try and be their friends, try to make them feel better. And all that stuff. Savage lived up to his name on his treatment of the students' deeply held religious beliefs. When it came to saying that being gay is wrong. To the point where they had to walk out of the auditorium. They were walking out of the auditorium because they were getting criticized for their beliefs. It's not bullying. Bullying is saying, oh, you're a Christian, you're a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. What Dan Savage was doing was criticizing the Bible and people who believe in the Bible and say that all these other things don't matter, but this one teeny little fucking thing about gays being wrong, we have to hold on to that. You can tell the Bible guys in the hall they can come back now because I'm done beating up the Bible. It's funny to someone who's on the receiving end of beatings that are justified by the Bible how pansy-ass people react when you push back. Which is true. To Savage, it is deplorable for anyone to bully LGBT youth. Because being lesbian, being gay, being bisexual, and being transgender are part of who a person is as a human being. It's part of what... When they're born, this how should I say this? This information about who they are is in their brain. It only gets unlocked when hormones start flowing through the brain and they start to mature, when they might say, I find men attractive, I find women attractive. In respect to, like, a woman saying, or a girl saying that I find girls attractive, or a boy saying, I find other boys attractive. Or saying that I find both sexes attractive. Or saying, I don't feel right in this body, I should probably try and change this so I feel better about myself. And I feel like I'm in a body that actually makes me feel good about myself. But Christians, I'm pretty sure he doesn't give a shit if fucking... Anyway. That's another story. He humiliated those who believe in the Bible in front of a very large group of students and felt really proud about it. When I watched the video, people were cheering for when he was criticizing the Bible, so that hopefully means that there's a lot more people who are irreligious in that goddamn crowd, and the people who walked away couldn't take fucking criticism. He wasn't bullying them. They weren't he wasn't bullying them. He wasn't doing that. He was criticizing the Bible. He wasn't saying, you're stupid for being a Christian, you're stupid for believing this, you're blah 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 blah. He wasn't attacking the people, he was attacking the beliefs that people used to hold and now don't hold, and the beliefs that they still hold. That's what he was doing. Okay. He would not apologize for his remarks, even though he tried, as everybody does, to qualify them. Like when a Christian kid is bullying a gay teen or perceived gay teen and saying that being gay is wrong, being gay is bad, being this, being that. Being gay means you're amoral, you're an abomination, you're blah, 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 blah. Oh, why do you believe that? Oh, because it's in my Bible and you can't do anything because it's in the Bible. And that's really what Christians... That's what bigots are doing when they say, oh, it's in the Bible. Because you can't silence people for talking about their religion, no matter how fucked up it is. I was not attacking the faith, which he wasn't. He was attacking the Bible and the willful ignorance, willful dishonesty about how people used to believe all these other things. They got rid of those, but they held the thing that gays are immoral and wrong and an abomination. Or anybody who isn't normal, who isn't attracted to their own, who isn't attracted to the opposite sex, people who like both sexes, and people who don't feel right in their own goddamn bodies. They're fucking abominations in the eyes of a lot of evangelical Christians. Right. You see, we just misunderstood the part where he called the Bible bullshit. It is bullshit. Maybe that wasn't the right fucking place to say that, but I'm sort of... It sort of brings a little bit of joy to my heart that I heard people cheer when he was saying that, because it means that people aren't being as religious as they used to be in the fucking day, like the bad old days. Anyway, those high school students present disagreed with him, yes, and they walked the fuck away. And most definitely those he offended. The Blaze, which is I think owned by Glenn Beck. So this story has two layers of bullshit, as Coughlin would say. Glenn Beck, CWA, and in this case, Mario Diaz. Reports one teacher said, if he was doing this with a bunch of college journalism kids, then it would be a different story. That's more rough and tumble. Well, if they're journalism kids and they want to go into being a journalist, they're going to have to deal with criticism. They're going to have to deal with people scrutinizing their work. They're going to have to deal with people who are less than nice. So maybe it's better that they got started early as opposed when they're in college, because they'll have a better way to deal with the criticism that they might be getting when they become a journalist. That's just my thoughts. How many of the kids who didn't walk out felt backed into a corner? Considering I heard a lot of cheers in the video I watched, maybe not a lot of them felt backed into a corner. To me, that's bullying behavior. No. Bullying behavior is saying that you're wrong and you're blah blah blah, or a Christian saying that, oh, you're gay, you're unnatural, you're transgender, you don't fucking, you're not right, you don't deserve rights, you don't belong. That is fucking bullying. No. What Dan Savage did was not bullying. Maybe it was the wrong place, but it was the right thing to say, just the wrong place. To me, that's bullying behavior. It all has all the symptoms. As far as I'm concerned, well, fuck this teacher. I got bullied in high school. No, the teachers didn't do fucking anything. I had to choke a kid to stop them fucking bullying me. And that was a bad thing that I had to do. I didn't want to do that. I just got so pissed off about being fucking bullied. I fucking just snapped. This is not unusual for Mr. Savage. He became infamous for his vicious attacks on former Senator, presidential candidate Rick Santorum and his faith. Actually, he responded to what Rick Santorum said about gays and being unnatural and don't deserve rights and all that shit back in the day. And he actually made Santorum mean the frothy mixture of lube and fecal matter as a result of anal sex. And that's just proof that you don't fuck with someone who has a lot of pull. Or don't say things that might inflame a lot of people because you will get fucked. And he actually attacked Concerned Women for America's president and CEO, Penny Nance, because she dared question the wisdom of promoting LGBT rights during a family show on television where small children, including your own young son, were in the viewing audience. Well, fuck that. That's the best place to talk about LGBT rights, because it's, if you catch them young enough and say that, someone who's lesbian, someone who's gay, someone who is bisexual, someone who is transgendered, if you get them early enough and say that these things are okay, and if you are this thing, you should not resent yourself. You should be fine. You should be happy with who you are. Don't hate yourself. Which is what Penny Nance and the CWA... That's the complete opposite of what fucking the CWA is telling people. They're telling people that if you're lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, you don't deserve rights. That is the most appropriate place. That is the most appropriate place to bring up LGBT rights, because you get them young and you tell them, this is, if you feel any of these things, those are okay to feel those things. It is you being who you are as a fucking person. That is, if you feel like you should be a girl and you're a boy, dress the way you want to dress. If you're a girl who wants to be a boy, dress accordingly. If you like boys and you're a boy, that's fine. If you're a girl and you like fucking girls, that's an okay thing. But anyway, in a rant full of obscenities and vulgarities, he asked, a fourth grader who doesn't know, in quotation marks, about heterosexual sex, is she raising that kid in a Skinner box in her basement and only letting him out to watch American Idol? Again, maybe if he did say this amid a stream of vulgarities, maybe not the best place to say it. But, I mean, it may be a little bit of an overreaction to what Penny Nance was saying, but his motives were pure. He was trying to push forward his belief that being different, being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, is okay, and that they should have rights. Again, maybe not the best way to put it, and I mean, a fourth grader, he'll know at least somewhat the basics, unless you're keeping your kid so insulated, like he said, that he doesn't find out about it. But Savage is not the issue. He will certainly reap what he sows. Oh, that's a very fucking poorly veiled threat, Mario. It's very poorly veiled. That's just simply not enough. All those who have proudly associated with this man, and if I knew him in real life, I would give him a fucking high five. Or if I ever met him in real life, I would fucking slap his hand and be like, yeah. Just be careful. Should distance themselves from him, for if not, they will be passively approving of his bullying of Christians. He wasn't bullying Christians, he was pointing out inconsistencies. and cognitive dissonance. That's what he was doing. The issue is not. Oh, the issue is not what to be done moving forward with speakers like him. Oh, I skipped an entire part, I think. With speakers like him, there's no question that this type of attack should not be sponsored by any respectable organization in school. No, it should be no, but if it's, oh, gays don't deserve rights, everybody should fucking be promoting that shit. But if it's the complete opposite, oh, no, buddy should be fucking sponsoring this. Yet in a statement, the Journalism Education Association and the National Scholastic Press Association, who sponsored the event, said only that they did not have a prior transcript of the speech and wished he had stayed more on target, in quotation marks. That's just simply not enough. Which, if they didn't know what he was going to say, what the fuck? Like, they couldn't stop him from, like, if they didn't know what he was going to say, and I mean, kids were cheering what he was saying, so, I mean, some of the kids agreed with him. So, such an anemic response is yet more evidence that there is a growing anti-Christian, anti-conservative sentiment, and being anti-conservative is such a bad fucking thing. Saying that everybody deserves rights, that women should have the choice to have an abortion if they have to have one, or if they aren't ready to have a child and they don't want to give up the child to be put into the adoption, to put it into the system. That taints the liberal elite. Yes, because being rational and being undickheaded is fucking so bad. And again, not even really rational, just being for people's rights is such a bad fucking thing. You will most certainly not hear much about this incident in the evening news. And it goes without saying that if the tables were turned and a Christian speaker called LGBT students pansy-ass, the outcry would have been deafening. Because pansy-ass can be offensive to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered people. Because they've had to endure with bullying for a while without people saying fucking anything. And that's a lot of reasons why Tyler Clementi killed himself and a whole host of other kids killed themselves, is because they were being teased for being LGBT and nobody was doing a goddamn thing for them. Yes, and it should, if someone did say this, it should be deafening. Because Christians are the fucking majority. And maybe sometimes the majority needs someone to talk about them, but nobody has really confronted people that say that LGBT rights should be just a part of everyday fucking life. And whoever... But, yeah. I think I skipped another part where he just goes on, where they quote Savage saying that Nance's son was always our target demo and all that. He doesn't really want the son to turn out like his mother being a hateful shit, which his mother is a hateful shit. Anybody who's ever seen Penny Nance talk fucking knows she's a hateful little bitch. So anyway, this double standard and hypocrisy is not confined to speeches in the media. We have exposed efforts on Capitol Hill before to stop bullying by protecting LGBT youth alone and elevating their status above others. Such efforts are going on at the state level all over the country. And that's such a bad thing, keeping the children who are most at risk of committing suicide or doing other things that could harm themselves out of the tempest until... Or not taking them out of the tempest, but telling them that just ignore them, just be who you want to be, do what you want to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you are right. The result of such misguided policies is the attitude displayed by Dan and Savage, an attitude that says it's okay to bully Christian kids in the name of preventing bullying against LGBT youth. Because a lot of people who fucking are against LGBT individuals are religious. Not saying that there aren't fucking people who are non-religious and have hatred for LGBT youths, but many of them are Christian and religious just because they wanted to somewhat legitimize their fucking bullshit. Policies say that if you hold on to the traditional or biblical definition of marriage, you are a bigot, which you are, because you aren't allowing people to fucking get married who want to get married. So, and you think it's such a bad thing to promote that being gay is okay. That's why I think it was McGreevey, the senator, or no, the governor of my state, where I live, New Jersey, had to have a family just so nobody would look at him weird and go, maybe he's gay, because he feared the fucking stigma. And I mean, yeah, he did some stupid fucking shit too, but I mean, he had to hide who he was because he was so ashamed and was afraid of what people would fucking think about him. So, and yes, going back, yes, you are a fucking bigot if you say that the only definition of marriage that should matter is Christian marriage or traditional marriage. You are a bigot because you're excluding people's rights from being expressed by those people. Gay marriage is such a bad fucking thing because when they get married, marriage will just mean nothing, even though there's a shit ton of divorces, and if they're really pro-marriage, they would fucking get rid of divorce. Policies that say we must respect other people's beliefs unless they're Christian conservatives, insofar as they shouldn't be trying to push their beliefs into law, and that they shouldn't be doing other things. I hope this incident helps us wake up to these shenanigans. Yes, I hope it does wake us up for the Christian bigotry and all kinds of bigotry that go on in the world. Again, all bullying is reprehensible unless you're saying that gays are wrong and don't deserve rights, in which case I'm pretty sure Mario Diaz would defend your right to say that to the fucking death. And efforts against it should be aimed against all bullies to protect all victims. In this case, they should work against Dan Savage to protect Christian students. Fuck Christian students. If you really want to practice Christianity, go to a Catholic school, go to a Christian school. Get out of public school. But that's just my beliefs. I'll post a link in the description to the story, and I'll post a link in the description to the part that's of Dan Savage's speech where he actually talks about all this shit. And this video went on a lot longer than I thought, but if you find any criticisms or want to hurl any criticisms at me, I'm open for video responses, I'm open for comments or anything like that. I want to have a dialogue with people. So, peace, love, harmony, and pretty much I side with Dan Savage, except for the whole him being pro Sam Harris. I don't like Sam Harris. He's pro-profiling, and I can't fucking be a part of that. But anyway, peace out.